Hello. Happy February. Casey O'Mara. I'm the Director of Curriculum, and this is the February Curriculum Update. Um, in January, I took a trip with some middle school students and Chris Stanton, who is a former math teacher in Slate Valley. And we went to Books Sawmill in West Haven. Um, Jen Clement, if any of you know who she is, who teaches at the high school. It's her family's sawmill. And you can see in the photo that we purchased some wood in order to build some tables for the middle school. And so the students got to see how the log is eventually turned into lumber. And there they are down below working on what eventually will become some tables. We did also then take the lumber that we purchased and went to the Mint in Rutland to use a joiner and a planer since we don't have those pieces of equipment on the campus of Fairhaven Union Middle School. Outdoor Pursuits was a course that is an integrated science, math, and PE course that's being taught for the first time. I have sent pictures along. You may have seen some even on the website. But we made certain to check in not only with students, but I made certain to check in with the teachers as well. And so if you're interested, you can get kind of the student perspective on a questionnaire that was sent out by one of the teachers in January. And then you can see educated reflection on how it's going in a ninth grade experience to do some team teaching and integrate different areas of study into one experience for students. And as well, which I'll talk about a little bit later in this share, we also have tracked kind of some academic progress just to see if this integrated approach has an impact on academic achievement aside from grades. And so we gave for the first time at the high school a winter assessment for STAR 360. And so math is the course that appears through STAR 360. So if you're interested, you can see some of those results and we'll track those into the spring. I also have in here, we did have a trip in, I believe, late December, maybe early January, to Hopperton Forge with the Career Exploration course again. And I also have highlighted here some of the work that the middle school design class has done with the Future City project. There's quite a number of examples of futuristic cities that students designed that are in the front lobby of Fairhaven Union Middle and High School. I also have an example of a student, the first time it's happened since I've been a part of Slate Valley, where a 10th grader has been able to have a scheduled design for him or her to go off campus in order to get some work experience in kind of a job shadow internship. And so Eric Page is that 10th grader who's having that experience currently. And I sat down with him, got his thoughts after a couple months of being at Avalanche in Fairhaven. And I also asked the folks at Avalanche, there happened to be two alums to Fairhaven Union High School, who I was able to talk with about their perspective on Eric and how things are going for him. So if you're interested, you can check that out in this write-up here. As I mentioned previously about STAR 360, is it related to outdoor pursuits? I have included a bit about how our ability to track student performance across our system is really intertwined with a good amount of legislation that the state of Vermont has enacted. And so I've highlighted the work of Act 173 and Act 127 in terms of how it is we're supposed to build systems of supports through Act 173 throughout our school district, and then Act 127 and the weighting of certain students and how it is we're hopefully going to be able to identify those students' needs early enough and then be able to provide resources to support those students in hopes that they receive an equitable education and hopefully improve the outcomes for those students who need the additional support so that they're closer to what's considered on grade level academically. I did also link the January curriculum update that I sent. You'll notice that, again, there's a great amount about STAR 360. We're in the middle. Many folks have administered that, but we're kind of in the middle of that window. We started to use EduClimber, which is a tool to help us access data in one central location. So not only STAR 360 results, but grades from PowerSchool and behavioral information from SWIS, along with attendance. And still continue to develop summative assessments across our system that are common, where we can then use the gradebook in addition to STAR and other bits of information in our response to intervention, as well as just generally checking in on how students are doing. And then I have, again, kind of an update as we look toward March. The March 15th full day in service, we'll have a meeting as an invite group this upcoming week in February. And we'll start planning. And part of that planning will have to do with reviewing assessments, review of curriculum. I've highlighted here the curriculum brochures that have been developed, at the elementary level. And then an example of a course criteria document for modern U.S. history that I shared in January. And you'll see further down here, 7 through 12, we're going to talk a bit about designing some common assessments. Again, just really emphasizing how much is asked of all of you in our system as it relates to teaching and learning, as you look at tracking kind of more traditional academic data, with providing students with experiences that allow them to apply that academic learning into other settings, areas of interest to them. So thank you for all that you do for Slate Valley. I feel extremely fortunate to have been able to be a part of everything that we're doing at this point. And I will see everyone throughout the rest of the month. And please feel free to reach out if you ever need anything.